What's up, guys? MagicNateball here. Last time we talked to a lot of people, and now we're going to talk to some more people here in Quest for Glory 1. So let's get right down to it. Walk off this screen and explore the rest of the town that we haven't quite seen yet. We'll come back to the inn later because we're obviously going to sleep there. Let's go into the town and see what's back here. You can smell apples as you approach this corner. Good day and welcome to Spielberg. Would you like to buy some of my nice fresh fruits or vegetables? You see a charming young centaur with the upper torso of a teenager and the body of a filly. It is a simple but prosperous-looking general store. It looks like it might provide some staples that would prove useful to a traveler, such as if an adventuring party asked you to join them. You see a nicely furnished living room through the window. You see a dry goods store through the window. The scales are used to weigh the vegetables. There are a variety of vegetables for sale, and the shopkeeper is a centaur. Ah, fresh air. You are in the northeast section of town. The buildings are all brightly painted, and the air is filled with the fragrance of apples. This appears to be Market Street. So, Miss Centaur, what is your name? I am Hilda, daughter of Heinrich Pferdefedern. Pferdefedern. Yeah. My father is Heinrich Pferdefedern. We have some land to the north of town. It isn't very big, but we grow many things. You should be here during harvest time, then you would see many fruits and vegetables. My mother has been dead for 3 years now. I still miss her. Thank you, but my father thinks I am too young. He would not permit it, but perhaps next year. Dating a centaur. What do you have? Apples are 1 silver, vegetables 1 silver. We'll probably need that at some point, we'll see. Let's go in here. This looks like a dry goods store, but it smells of a musty library. The stove feels nice on a crisp day. Behind the counter and on the shelves there are a variety of items for sale. The shopkeeper appears to ignore you while he reads a book. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't notice you coming in. My, you look like an adventurer. We don't see too many around here. The brigands tend to get rid of most of the adventurers before they make it to town. I do try to stock some things adventurers can use. I usually would rather be an adventurer than a shopkeeper, you see. I actually would. My items are pretty ordinary, though. You probably have most of them if you've done any adventuring at all. Let's see what you have. There are barrels of flour and salt next to the counter. There also seem to be jars of pickled pig's feet, linen cloth, and lots of other things in which you have very little interest. You see bottles, jugs, and canned goods more useful to a housewife than a hero. The jars of beets and sauerkraut look like they were canned locally. This is the door to the back storage room. Bright sunlight streams in through the open window. The barrels appear to be filled with flour and salt and look rather heavy. The stove is burning merrily away, making the shop seem almost too warm. The clothes come in 2 sizes, dwarf and goon. There are some wooden poles leaning against the wall. None of the clothes look like they fit. It looks like a standard broadsword behind that counter. Those look like oversized shields suitable for ogres, goons, and frost giants. The proprietor's teapot. It's the matador's red cape, recently repaired after he waved it in front of a minotaur. Oh no, that's not very smart, unless you're playing King's Quest. Excuse me. The shopkeeper is a small, balding man who wears glasses. He looks as if he can barely lift the book he is reading. Judging from his clothes, he is fairly well-to-do. Why, that's me, Caspar! I always wanted to be an adventurer. I read all about them all the time. The book I was just reading is about adventuring. What book? Oh, this book? It's about an adventurer who is trying to become a hero. The title is Quest for Glory, A Hero's Death. Oh, that sounds you know, ominous and stuff. I don't really want to die. I just talked about this. Do you have any equipment? Unfortunately, I have only standard weapons and equipment. I carry daggers and chain armor. Maybe someday I'll be able to carry magic ones, though. Hopefully. What about this dagger? Ah, the use of the dagger is a most skillful art. Actually, this particular weapon is longer than most, but still easily concealable. A bargain at 20 silvers. What about your chain armor? You can get really good protection from my chainmail armor. It's very heavy, though, and I would have to charge you 500 silvers for it. I think I have chainmail. I do have chainmail already. Or no, that's a leather jacket. Never mind. Perhaps one day we'll get that. Do you have any food? Adventuring rations aren't the tastiest food in the world, but they will keep you healthy and alert as you go along. A pack of 10 rations will cost you just 5 silvers. It's a very good idea to carry an empty flask or two in case you want to pick up a liquid or something else that needs a container. Our flasks are a great bargain at 2 silvers each. Well, let's see. I think we have some more talking. Something else. What about these brigands I keep hearing about? Well, I don't like to talk about other people behind their backs, but they're brigands. What about the sheriff? The sheriff and Otto protect this town. The sheriff used to be a real adventurer, you know. We talked about them behind their backs. What about Hilda? Hilda sells fine produce for a reasonable price. Reasonable price, eh? Yeah. Let's see. Flask, food, dagger, armor. 1 second. I thought we had some rations. We have 5 food rations. So, I'm not going to buy any rations, but I am going to buy 1 flask. Here you are. Thank you for your patronage. Pretty much just doing that because mumble mumble, overworked, mumble underpaid, mumble mumble, no control over my life. Yes, you do not. I'm pretty much just doing that because even though I know you get flasks when you use potions and stuff, I want to have 1 extra just in case. What's over here? Actually, since he didn't walk off, I'm going to try to go in here. There's no response. The lock is of a simple type. I don't think I have any lockpicks, did I? Nope. Where are we now? You have come to the northwest corner of town. There is a butcher's sign over the door of the butcher's shop. Amazing coincidence! You can see a bakery sign over the door of the other shop. The tavern looks a little run down, and the alley beside it is dark. On the other side of the tavern is a rather practical-looking building, like a workshop. Looks like this door has been closed for a long time. Looks like an abandoned workshop. The building looks old, dark, and a little seedy. The sign above the door depicts a beer stein. Looks like the door to a tavern. It's dark, but there seems to be someone in there. The butcher shop. The shop seems to be closed. There is a sign on the door which says, "Gone fishing." It's a bakery shop. The shop seems to be almost closed, though there are some dried up cupcakes in the window. There is a sign on the door which says, "Gone fishing." Can I take any of these cupcakes? You can't seem to open the door. It might be locked. Can't seem to open the window. Can't seem to open the window. Oh, can't seem to open the door. It might be locked. So, we're really close to that alley, so I'm going to save. I don't know what's in there. Dark alleys? Save. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to die if I walk in here, but, why not? This grubby place must be an alley. It feels strange here, colder than the rest of town. There are some barrels discarded here. A beggar holds out a bowl towards you. Alms, alms for the poor. Whoa, dude, you look weird. A thin man with very patched clothing holds out an empty bowl. It's the standard beggar's bowl every beggar is issued when he graduates from an accredited beggar's school. The barrels are empty and smell of sour beer. An early model of a hot dog stand, or could it be a hamburger stand? The barrels are empty. One smells of sour beer. Another barrel reeks of troll sweat. Okay. The walls seem pretty normal, but there are some curious marks on the north ends of the buildings. Silver for the poor, gold for the poor. Silver. Thanks. You know, it's really tough trying to make a living begging in this town since the brigands started scaring all the trade away. Will you talk to me now? Yes. Why do you beg? A beggar gets cash only when others get cash, and nobody's got much money here right now, except maybe the brigands. What about cash? There's honest work up at the Baron's castle, I hear, but begging's my business. You can get a job cleaning the stable, I understand. It's great if you want to build up muscles or have a place to spend the night, but you won't get rich. I'd rather beg myself. What's your name? My name is Sam. I've lived here for 5 years now, and I think I'll be heading on once the pass clears of snow. There's supposed to be some good begging towns to the south. Nice talking to you. Alms for the poor. Alms. South? Heard Samaria is a good place to be. It's by the sea. I think I'll head there after this. Wonder if we'll see him in Quest for Glory 5, which takes place in Samaria. Spoiler, yes. Spielberg. Understand this used to be a great place to be. Traders going in and out, tourists coming and going. Perfect begging conditions. Things were starting to dry up about the time I got here. Just my luck. Brigands started getting tough. About time I got back to work. Alms for the poor. Alms. About time I got back to work. Alms for the poor. So I guess I gotta give him another. Thanks, you know, it's really tough. I used to be such a nice place to live. My advice to you is not to take up begging. It doesn't pay. And don't go out at night. Traders used to stop here on the way south to pick up barrels of some special cider made here by a guy named Amblin. Tourists used to come here regularly for the Spielberg Cider Festival. After the cider industry closed, not much point for the festival without the cider part. What's this cider? I heard Amblin got scared of the brigands and decided to move away. I still remember the taste of his cider. It was good. It was called Amblin Entertainment from Spielberg. I have lots of luck. It's just that it's bad. What about these brigands? Rumor has it that someone smart took over, organized them, trained them. That sort of thing, maybe. Nowadays, no one's safe outside of town. Well, we probably won't be either. Up to that time, the brigands were just pains, dumb guys who sometimes tried to beat up traders outside of town. They sure heard business. No one's getting rich but them. I remember when people used to stroll around town after dark. There's a spell on Spielberg so that it glows at night. Now the only people out late are the thieves. And out of town, man, you don't dare be out there without a light when the sun goes down. The night gods will get you. About time I got back to work. Alms for the poor, alms. Well, let's see. Let's go down here. Can't do much with that. Give the climbing to those who know how. Some sharp, pointy object appears to have been thrown at these walls several times. Can't do much with that. Barrels too heavy to pick up. Can't do much with that. Nope. A word of warning to you. Don't drink the dragon's breath. Assuming he's talking about the tavern. What is the time of day? Mid-afternoon on day 1. So we should have some time. I'm gonna go do something else right quick. Don't know why it switched to my hand there. Walk this way. Walk this way. Get off the screen. Please leave this place. There we go. Same here. Please leave. There we go. Wow. The breeze is cool, but you feel a shiver deeper than just the cold. You are really on your own now in a very dangerous place. Let's see what's up here. The bright smell of fresh herbs mingles with the aroma of wood smoke as you come to a hut by the side of the road. What is that? The creature looks more like a small flying lizard than a bird. It's really loud. I'm going to turn that down just a bit. Doesn't seem to help much. The tree is a large oak. There is a nest on the limb that stretches towards the hut. The house looks cheery and well kept. It has the sign of a healer above the entrance. The door seems to be barred on the inside. Perhaps you should knock. In front of the hut is a small garden which grow the kinds of plants and herbs that are used for making potions. The road winds northward towards a walled castle. It's not much to look at. You politely knock on the door. After a moment, you hear the inside bolt slide open. A voice from the inside says, "Come on in." Another one. The fragrances of herbs mingle with some rather unpleasant odors as you step into the healer's house. "Lovely day, isn't it? My, you look very healthy for an adventurer. You must be new. What can I do for you? I can sell you healing potions if you like. I also buy spell components if you are interested in gathering some for me. Don't mind me, I always have so much to do around here." And so she'll continue working, while I look around her place. You see a winged lizard much like the one you saw outside. You see a few odds and ends, not to mention this and that. It's just a barrel. The view from the window has been obscured by soot from the fire. You see a clean but very cluttered little hut filled with bottles and potions. The healer is busy puttering around with her potions. There is a small flying creature preening itself on the rafter. A ladder leads to the loft above. A pot over the fire simmers with herbs. It is pleasantly warm in here. Amelia uses a wide variety of pots to make her magical potions. You see bottles and flasks of a wide variety of different potions. Let's see what she has to say. Let's look at her, I guess. She is a rather motherly-looking woman with a look of vagueness that belies her shrewdness. She wears an apron over her dress and a scarf wrapped around her head. Who are you? Well, my name is Amelia Appleberry, but mostly I'm just known as the healer. I will be happy to sell you some potions. I live here with my pet, Terry. Who's your pet? Oh, that's my pet Terry, the pterosaur. He has a girlfriend, Teresa, with a nest in the oak outside my door. Terry keeps me company and listens while I chatter and as I work. Pterosaurs, huh? They are a species of flying lizard. I understand they can grow quite large in the south. I heard you lost a ring. My ring is shaped in gold, like a braid of the herb ethelas with entwined leaves. I don't know how I lost it. I hardly ever take it off. What's this reward I heard about? I will give 6 golds to the person who returns my ring. It was a gift when I graduated from the College of Healing. Keep that in mind. You have potions, huh? I make and sell healing potions, power potion, figure potion, and undead unguent. This potion is used to heal damage and keep wounds from getting worse. It has gotten pretty dangerous around here, and a healing potion can be quite useful in a serious situation. I believe so. What about a vigor potion? Vigor potion is used to revitalize yourself after vigorous exercise. It helps to restore stamina. Stamina, huh? Stamina is a measure of the energy the body uses as you work or play. What about this power potion? Power potions restore the energy needed to cast spells. What about undead unguent? Undead unguent is used to drive off the minor undead, such as zombies or floating spirits. It doesn't last long, so you should use it near when you are going to encounter such things. Zombies? There are not too many zombies in this land. Too damp, I suppose. There are some floating spirits, I have heard. Floating spirits? Floating spirits are the ghosts which usually hang around graveyards at night. They are dangerous, so don't go near them unless you use undead unguent first. Keep that in mind, I don't want to have my stamina sapped. I have the skill to use my magic to create potions. I am a bit proud about it. Not everyone can do that, you know. Including us, probably. Actually, almost certainly. So these spell components you need. I always need ingredients for making potions. Right now I need some of Arana's flowers, magic mushrooms, troll beard, and let me think. Oh yes, cheetah claws. I will be happy to pay you if you bring me some. I'll also buy back any empty flasks you have so that I can recycle them. Waste not, want not, after all. Trollbeard. The trolls around here are tough monsters that cannot stand the light of day and so are found only at night or in caves. They are very difficult to kill, but I will pay 2 healing potions for the beard of a troll. What about flowers? I use flowers from Arana's Peace to the north in nearly all my potions. They have some of the magic of the place even when they are dried. I will pay you 5 silvers for a flask full of flowers. Arana's Peace? Almost due north of here is the meadow called Arana's Peace. It is a very magical area, and I understand that it is a place of safety. It is beautiful all year, for the flowers are always in bloom. What about those cheetah claws? The cheetah looks like a cross between a panther and a man. It is vicious and tough. Unless you are a very tough fighter, you had best try to get away from it. If you do manage to kill it, then I will pay you 5 silvers for each claw. These flasks. I will pay you 1 silver for each empty flask you bring me so I can use it for more potions. What about mandrake root? Mandrake root is used in a variety of spells, mostly for evil purposes. Mandrake must be pulled from a dead man's grave at midnight. The root is particularly powerful. So what do you use it for? Oh, excuse me. So let's see. What about the castle? You can see Spielberg Castle from my yard outside. The Baron lives there with only his guards for company, so I hear. Who's the Baron? Poor man. He hasn't been the same since his son and daughter were taken from him. His son? He was just a young, dashing man when he last rode off. He never returned. What about his daughter? The dear child. I can still picture her with her beautiful blonde hair done up in braids. She was so sweet. It is hard to believe she is gone. What about the brigands I hear about? Those brutes! I'm always having to deal with someone they've beaten up and robbed. I hate thieves. Oh, I hope we don't become a thief. What the farmer? Would you believe the brigands almost killed him a while back? Fortunately, their leader made him bring Heinrich here where I could heal him. So their leader is merciful. I heard the brigand leader ordering those nasty men to bring poor Heinrich here after they hurt him so. I gave them all a good scolding, you can imagine. I'm sure you did. So what do you have? I want to get a healing potion. I hope this will help you. Now let's see, how much money do I have left? I have 6 silver pieces. Very little to no money. But I have a healing potion. So let's leave. Oh, by the way, if you happen to find a ring on your adventures, I lost my favorite gold ring. I will give a reward to the one who returns it. Thank you. So what time is it now? Oh my gosh. Sunset approaches on day 1. So I think we'll head back to town. We'll check out the castle tomorrow. Spielberg, this way. And let's go to the inn. It's a kitty. Welcome, welcome, traveler, to the Hero's Tale Inn. I am Jameen, at your service. May you find what you seek here. Very good food, very good drink, finest in town. Sit, rest, you will be served by my Shima. Can I get a room? Very nice room, very soft beds, finest in town, only 5 silvers a night. What about food? Very good food, very good drink, finest in town. Sit, rest, you will be served by my Shima. Who's this merchant here? Poor Abdullah sits and tries to forget his loss in food and drink. I think he will not be sorry if you join him at his table. A robbery? Alas, the brigands stole all of Abdullah's wealth and mine own when they robbed his caravan. Now I will be forced to stay in this wet, cold land. What about these brigands? I know little about them except that they must be wealthy now. Wealth? I hoped to return to my homeland with the profits Abdullah, Shima, and I would make from the caravan. Now I fear we will remain here unless someone deals with the brigands and returns our stolen trade items. What about Shapir? A land of golden sand and tall mountains, a city of tall buildings and winding streets, a place where Kata can bask in the sun and as they sell things in the bazaar. It is our homeland, and a place we long to be. Caravans? In my homeland, a caravan is the only way to travel from city to city. What is your name? I am Shamin, a poor, unfortunate, forced to seek a fortune in this cold land far away from my homeland and my Kata people. Your Kata people, indeed. We live far to the south in the desert lands of Shapir. Someday we may yet return there. We are a race of desert dwellers and wanderers of the endless sands. A land of golden sand, ya. Abdullah, he is a merchant from my homeland of Shapir, a dear friend and guest here. Something else? What about this town? Spielberg is a sad place for an innkeeper, for few travelers visit because of the brigands. Mumbles. This is a cold land for a Kata. You seem to read that a lot. He comes in with his wife sometimes for food. He is very wise and generous. What about Otto? There is no end to the food that one can eat. An angry Chinese man. Let's see. This is the Hero's Tale Inn, where Shima and I will be delighted to serve you. The softest and safest of beds, the richest and finest of foods awaits you. You have but to command. Shima is my beloved, and she can cook and keep an inn as few others. When she dances, there is true magic. If we ever return to Shapir, then she will again dance. That's interesting. Well, I think I'll sit at the table with him, and then maybe speak to him. The table feels rough to the touch, but very solid. You take a seat at the table nearest the fire. Oh, it is indeed sad and dangerous times we live in, when a man who struggles daily to keep from starving should be robbed of all his earthly possessions. I am Shima. Allow me to serve you, wanderer from afar. Do you wish food or drink? Let's talk to her. I can get rooms here? You have but to give Shamin 5 silvers, and you may have a bed to dream upon. Food? We have very good stew of newborn lamb, along with honey chicken for a mere 3 silvers. Coffee is included in the price of the meal. We may not have enough money to get food and a place to sleep. This would be problematic. Drinks? We have rich black coffee, freshly ground and brewed as only my people do. Such coffee will bring you to your full alertness. It is but a silver. Questions? It is Shamin who is the speaker for the house, for I have much work to do to serve you. If you wish to learn more about such things, then you should speak to him. What is your name? I am Shima, which means in the words of the kata, she of the dance. Shapir is where we kata come from. It is warm and glowing, and the sun is always bright. Our homeland is far to the south. It is called Shapir. Kata are a quiet, gentle people. It is true that I love to dance, but my soul cannot fly so far from home. That is sad. Who's this guy sitting next to me? Abdullah will always forever be our guest and friend. What about him? Abdullah, too, is from the land of Shapir. Abdullah will be honored to tell you of that. He is my soulmate. Alright. What about this robbery? 2 weeks ago I was going to be a wealthy beyond what you could dream of. I, Abdullah Du, would be the first merchant into this valley this year, but my life was shattered by brigands. Brigands, eh? The band of brigands ambushed us just as we crossed the pass into the valley. There were about 12 brigands, each including a huge minotaur. There was also a leader and some sort of wizard. They first used some sort of magic which blinded us. Then they overwhelmed my 6 guards and my assistants. all my trade goods taken from before me. I am now but a beggar, living off the generosity of my friends. What magic did they use? The wizard threw something at us that caused my eyes to be blinded with tears and my nose to be forced to sneeze. I was helpless. A minotaur? The minotaur is a creature with the head of a bull and the body of a man. They are said to be very strong. Who was their leader? The leader was wearing a cloak, so I couldn't see his face. His voice was rather high-pitched, though. The wizard was very short, and he giggled most of the time. I couldn't understand what he was saying. What about his guards? Here I pay good money for men to protect me, and what do they do when I need protection? They run away. Not one man died to defend my treasure. You can't just hire good guards anymore. Let's see. I am Abdullah Du, son of Ali, grandson of Hassan, the great master merchant of Shapir. Now I am but a penniless burden upon my friends. Even though they, too, lost a fortune when the brigands stole from me, Shamin and Shamal are caring for this frail shadow of a great man. She is the finest of cooks outside of myself, that is, but her fine food is as dust in my mouth, for I am but a beggar. What about Shamin? He is the very prince of Katas. Ah, Shapir, beautiful land of golden sands and shining sun, the heart of civilization. Alas, she is plagued with fish jinn and efrits who seek to drive all men and Katas from the land. But I can speak no more of the homeland I shall never see again. Instead, I will die in this cold, forsaken land, bereft of all that I love. I trade the treasures of one land for that of another, but the brigands have stolen every treasure I had, and I am merchant no more. So, I guess let's get some food. Buy a meal. Pay Shima for a meal. We'll get some food, and then we will see if we have enough money for a room, and then we'll end the video, and we'll pick up next time, and get some sleep. Then we'll explore, and well, we'll hopefully get some sleep. We may have to go fight something, and try to find some gold elsewhere, because we may not have enough money. I think I had not quite enough after I bought that flask and a healing potion. I probably should have just stuck with the healing potion. And I missed that. Well, thanks, Shima. Let's eat it. The food tastes surprisingly good and the drink is delicious. Yay! Alright. And now she comes and clears the table. Permit me to clear this table for you. No, I do not permit you. Let's stand up. You see a sign that says, please don't touch. Besides, Shamin is watching you. Stand up. Now let's check our inventory. We have 3 silver pieces, and I believe he said it was 5. A night's rest. Because your silver is too low, you must find other accommodations. Perhaps you can find work somewhere. Oh boy, this could be problematic. Well, let's save, and we will pick this up next time. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll pick up in episode 3 back in the land of Spielberg.